Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing two different nail designs, and to start off we're going to be making a tweed nail set. So it is Christmas season. These nails are inspired by that, so I am incorporating some red, but I wanted to make nail sets that didn't include things like snowmen or like Christmas trees or anything like that, but something cute and festive. To start off, I'm doing my usual prep, which is buffing the nails, taking the shine off, and I'm applying a base coat. Now I'm going in with this pink jelly color, and for two of the nails on this design, I'm going to be using this color. This specific nail, I want to make it a French, so I'm using 2 layers of this pink, and then I'm going to go in with a gray color because that is the color I'm going to be using for the other nails. And I applied 2 layers of that gray because it was just a little bit lighter than I wanted to. But I'm doing the French print, and I'm going to be drawing the tweed design on top of this gray color. After the second coat cures, I'm going to start with my design, and I'm using this red glitter color as my first color. This is a cream palette. It's gel polish, but it's like a cream palette, so I just scoop some out with my spatula, and then I'm going in and creating lines going vertical. So just draw as many lines as you feel is necessary. You might want more color popping than the other. I used that red, and then as you can see, I did my lines going up and down, and then I just crossed over that line that I just made. So you should cure in between colors. I just went ahead and went in with my white. I just made sure I didn't touch my white color with the red so it doesn't blend. And I did the same thing. You're just making lines going up and down randomly throughout the nail, and then crossing over those same lines you did. After that cured, I'm going in with my black, and like I said, I recommend you cure in between your colors. That way you can kind of not have to worry about if they overlap or anything like that. So I'm going in with black, and the black is definitely overlapping on some of the lines I already created. So we're doing the same thing with all the colors. I used 3 colors, by the way, just that red glitter, a black, and a white. You can go it back in. Like I did go back in with the red and added a little bit more red because I wanted the red color to be more visible. You can go back in and add more lines as you see fit. So you don't have to add a line to every visible space on your nail. You still want the base color to show through, but just make sure you don't have like any gaps within a design. So after I'm finished with my tweed design, I wanted to add that little cute bow. So I went and added that, cured that, and then I also added a matte top coat to this. Off camera, I didn't show this because I did it last minute. I added some of that red glitter to the French nail, and it kind of just finished it up and made it look better. So for this set, there are going to be 3 nails that are going to be full tweed, and I'm using this gray as the base color. This is the same gray as I used for that first nail where I did the French design, and I'm doing the tweed design on the entire nail. So I believe there's a couple of nails or one nail I didn't film, but I'm basically doing the same design on it, so I didn't feel like it was necessary to show you guys that. But we're doing the same thing on those nails, using this red glitter to make lines going up and down and across, and going back in with white and black and doing the same thing throughout the whole nail. So again, I do this for 3 of the nails. So after I'm done with the design, I'm going in with a matte top coat. This whole set is finished off with matte for a matte finish. And after I was done with that, because it mattified the nail completely, I wanted to go back in with that red glitter color. So here, my nail was finished, and I actually had applied the matte top coat, but I wanted to make that little red glitter color pop a little more. So I'm going back in with it, and then I'm curing it, and then I put a shiny top coat over it, a very small amount of shiny top coat, and just being careful not to touch any part of the other nail that has the matte finish. So this is the final nail of this set. I'm using that same pink color as I did for the French nail. And I applied 2 layers of that, and then I went in with my matte top coat. And I'm not going to be doing any tweed design on this nail. I'm going to be using rhinestones only. So the rhinestones are pretty much self-explanatory. You guys can see that I'm using like different size, mainly those little small tiny ones, and then I'm going to add a nice teardrop shaped rhinestone. I like to use Builder Gel to apply my rhinestones on my nails, either in a container or that, you know, like that you kind of scoop out, or they have the Builder Gels that come in a bottle with a brush. So either one of those types of Builder Gels, I'll just apply a tiny amount on the nail and then just place the rhinestones onto the nail like I'm doing here. And then I let that cure. I make sure I really like, so whether I'm using cure it for longer than I feel like is necessary. After I'm done with my rhinestones, I do like to go back in with the top coat of my choice. So whatever top coat I used, in this case I used the matte. So after the rhinestones are fully cured, I'm going back in with my matte top coat, and I like to sort of like seal around the rhinestone. So sometimes there might be like a little gap or space between the rhinestone and the nail. I just feel like it adds extra security, and I also just like adding that extra layer of top coat. So that's all I did. And then after that top coat is fully cured, we are done with this set. I think these are super adorable and at the same time festive. So if you're not into like the theme nails or Christmas trees or things like that, these are perfect. I also think they are perfect for beginner friendly nail techs, or if you're not used to doing any type of nail art, I definitely think you can pull these off. For the next set, I'm going to be using the same length and style nail as I did for the first one, and I'm prepping the same way as well, just buffing and filing as needed, applying a base coat, and then after the base coat, I'm going to cure. For this nail set, I'm only going to be using one color, and that is a milky white. If you don't have that, you can mix a white gel polish with a clear polish. So you can mix it with like a base coat or a top coat, whatever you have, to create a milky white color. And I'm applying that to the base of the nail. And then because I want to keep the layers even on the nail, I am applying a base coat to the remainder of the nail. So we have the milky white at the base of the nail, and then we're applying a base coat to the remainder of the nail. And then where the milky white and base coat meets, you want to kind of like blend that in together. You don't have to do crazy blending. Just take a fan brush or any sort of brush and kind of dab and blend it in. Or you can even just allow the gel polish to do its job, and if you overlap the milky white onto the base coat, it'll just naturally blend. So after that's fully cured, we're going to do the same thing one more time. Go in with that milky white at the base of the nail, and then use the base coat for the remainder of the nail. And again, if you overlap the colors, so you can apply the base coat first and then maybe apply the milky white second, so that you can bring the milky white up a little bit more over the base coat and it'll overlap some. And then you can actually leave the nail there before you cure it, and it creates that natural ombre look because both gel polishes kind of mesh and blend together. Or you can just take a brush like I did. I used a fan brush and just kind of blended it together. You want to create a gradual look where the base part is more white and then it gets gradually lighter. So at this point, what I like to do is take the nail off the stand. That is if you're working on a nail that is off your hand, and I just press it against my natural nail to see if I like the look of it, if I have to go back in and apply a little bit more of that milky white, if I have to do any retouching. But If it's to my liking, then I can move on, and that's what I'm gonna do with applying a top coat. So we're done with one portion of this nail. We're gonna move on to the second part, which is definitely an important part. And for that one, you're gonna need a piece of saran wrap. I recommend saran wrap or a thin piece of plastic. Maybe you have like a plastic bag lying around your house. Just try to use a plastic that's a little bit more on the softer side, not a plastic that's too thick or doesn't move and mold easily. I'm also going to be using a builder gel for this portion. Something that I like to do because I'm going to use a builder gel is apply a base coat on the underside. So we're going to flip our nail around and polish inside of it. So I just applied a base coat and I let that base coat cure. And then after that, I'm going to go in with my builder gel. If you don't have builder gel, you can just apply a thicker layer of base coat or a thicker layer of top coat and do this portion here. So here I'm taking my brush, I dipped it in my builder gel, and I'm applying some to the underside of the nail. So you can just apply a nice, I guess, medium-sized layer, not too thin, not too thick. After, you're gonna take your piece of saran wrap, put it over the nail, and I have like this spatula tool. You can use whatever you have. So if you have like a dotting tool, or you have even maybe something like a bobby pin, something that's going to allow you to move around that polish, you just put inside the nail and scrunch it up. So you're going to take your tool and just go on top of the saran wrap and scrunch up the gel polish that's in there. You can flip the nail around and look and see if it's like looking like cracked glass, or if you need to scrunch it up a little more. I personally wanted to scrunch it up a little more, so that's what I'm doing here. Once it's to your liking, don't take the saran wrap off. Put it in your gel lamp and let it cure thoroughly. After it's done, you can pull off the piece of saran wrap or plastic, and then you're going to flip your nail around and you can see it creates this beautiful cracked ice effect. And because I used a builder gel, I do need to top it off with a top coat. Otherwise, the underside of the nail is going to be a little sticky and attract dust particles and such. But if you use top coat for this, that's good news because you don't have to do the extra step of adding a top coat to that portion. Also, an FYI, if you have a little bit extra like builder gel like hanging over the side, sometimes that may happen. You could just take your nail file and file off the excess, or I took a cuticle clipper and just clipped off any excess that might have been hanging over the side of the nail. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the same thing to all the remaining nails, and I'll just let you guys watch. So that is all. This is how the nails came out. I absolutely love the ice nail look because it looks interesting, but it also looks like a design that's harder than what it actually is. And I just love that. But I hope you found this video very helpful. Let me know if you try any of these designs. If you have any questions, please leave them below.